Just want to know from your perspective how things have gone since the arbitration case. I know you had some words about it, and we've been talking about too, like how the dynamic is with players, but what your thoughts were from that situation, because it was such a small amount of money that was being battled on. And many players since, like in a good way, have been outspoken about the fact that the system is just weird and wrong. So what were your thoughts on how that all went down?
Yeah, look, first off, it's the process that we go through. Once you get to the 3 minimum years, you get into arbitration. I don't think anyone likes it, and it's part of the process that we have to go to. And as a player, we've earned the right to try to go and argue what we think we deserve. And obviously, what transpired with me, it was not something that was kind of ideal. And I had spoken to Hader a lot about it prior going into it, and he was the guy that went through it the previous year. And Adrian Hauser did as well, so I got to talk to him about it. So just one of those things, you kind of know what to expect going into it, knowing that the team's going to do whatever they can to try to win their case and do what they can to make you look bad. And that's obviously that's what happened. But I've had meetings now with a lot of the guys in the clubhouse and with Counts and the coaching staff. Like, look, I'm going to go out there. I'm still going to do my job. My job is to go out there every 5 days, give out the best effort I can, try to give the team a chance to win. That's not going to change. So that's something I try to reiterate to all those guys is, look, I understand what happened. Everything became very public about it because of some of the stuff that was said, and just that's how the process goes. And my goal was not to trash the Brewers and trash anyone that was involved with the arbitration process, but more bring a light to what happened, and that this is a process that as big league players we go through, and not everything is as good and as happy as it sounds. But then on the backside of it, knowing that my players and my teammates know that I've got their guys' back, they got my back. Every 5 days, I'm gonna go out there and give everything I got, and hopefully we can go win a World Series this year.
But I tell players, and I think Corbin, now that you've been through it, if you really want to know what the teams think about you, sit in that room and they will tell you, and they'll make shit up, excuse my language. Then you're like, that is not true. So please, if your experience was different, Corbin, tell me.
No, that's basically it. Now, so a couple guys I've talked to, the team doesn't really send their GM or president of baseball ops. Those guys don't go anymore. It's a lawyer they hire, someone else in the front office who doesn't say anything. So basically, it's all said by the lawyers. They've given them their case to say, and for them, they think it feels it's not as bad. I think because it's a lawyer saying it, not necessarily the GM saying it. So they kind of present their case, and again, you're sitting right across from each other. They're saying stuff. They're trying not to look at you, and you're just sitting there, just staring a hole through them. Like, are you serious? Like I said, and then each side talks. You have the rebuttal. I didn't say anything. The PA, I think now they don't really want guys saying anything or doing anything, so we just kind of sit there and just have to wear it. A lot of guys, a lot of young guys are like, well, how come you got to go to it? And it's one of those things like. It's kind of like the mandatory optional for those guys that went to college of, hey, you don't have to go, but you probably should go kind of thing. So it's like it's one of those things that's basically it's mandatory. You sit there, you listen, you take it. At the end of the day, like you say, everyone gets up and walks out, and they kind of give a smile on the way out, and they're kind of like, hey, what's up? And you just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go back to my room and get out of here. And then the next day you get a phone call I got it from the PA and said, hey, sorry, we lost. And that was kind of it, and said, good luck this year. So it's definitely a strange process, and something that I think probably should be changed, since the team just goes in there and just absolutely just tears apart all their players, saying a lot of stuff that isn't true, or crunching data the way they want to, and kind of leaving out all the good parts. But it's kind of a weird process, and I don't think many guys like to go through it, but sometimes you have to.
My question is, because I've never been through this, I didn't need to make it to arbitration, thank goodness, because they would have had plenty of ammo. But my thing is, I want to know, what is the worst thing that they said to you, but also what's the like most pointless thing they said? Like come on, bro. Like, why did you put that in there? Like, seriously, like, you caught me picking my nose, one time. Like, I want to know from both of those what it was.
Yeah, mine was it's what I came public with, was the worst, and one that was kind of hard to understand, and we actually had a rebuttal to it, was I was the reason why we missed the postseason. So they kind of, they pull everything up of, oh, in the first half, we were such and such record, you were such, and you had this, all your numbers. In the second half, they say that your numbers weren't very good. And they put together, basically they eliminate the month of September where I had, good numbers again. They put like a 3 or 4 stretch stretch in August of where I had like a 5 ERA. And they go, look, the team was starting to tank at this time, and that's the reason why they tanked the rest of the year. But they leave out that, had a good month of September. I was, 4 or 5 games over 500 in those starts I made, yet the team was 500. So they just completely skew the data to what they see, and hopefully that's what these arbiters hear, and that's what obviously they heard. And then that for me, that was also kind of the thing that kind of came out of left field for us as well. Was like, the team will do whatever they can to try and make it look as if you aren't valuable to the team, to help the team or hurt the team in any way. And so they will make the numbers whatever they could. They made up stats. They do everything they can as something that, this is a stat that we really view heavily as a player, and you guys should as well. And it'll be stats that they made up. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a court case. That's the thing, which is so strange, because like MLB will say, hey, we need better athletes, better overall players. Like Kyle Tucker lost his case, $2.5 million difference. And I read all about it this morning. They just kept saying, well, he doesn't hit enough homers. And they're like, okay, cool. Don't you want all around players? Like, just absolute garbage. So Corbin, right? I mean, like that's
Corbin, you're through it now, and now you just look at him and say, screw you, we'll go again next year. Like, let's do it again next year, because you've already been through it. So it's important for the players, though. I know it sucks, but it's important because it's the first chance you have as a player to really fight for your, not freedom, but the money you deserve. Like, this is your chance, your first chance to sit down and say, I'm worth this, especially if you don't have a long-term deal. So good for you for going, Corbin. I'm sorry you didn't win, but good for you for going, and I'm proud of you for that.